The story begins with a boy cleaning the classroom. He accidentally catches sight of a classmate changing her clothes. He quickly grabs the mop handle to block the hole, but his foot slips. The force goes too far. A sharp scream echoes, ah. At one of the city's top high schools, another long day of study finally ends. A few hot-body girls chat excitedly about heading back to the dorm for hot pot. Two others complain. They want to go shopping, but it's raining and they forgot their umbrellas, so back to the dorm it is. They gossip about how weird the weather's been. Raining every day, and the water even feels dirty. Yijan glances at the duty chart. Today it's me and AI Chanchian, he mutters. Just then, a drop of water lands on his shoulder. He looks up. The ceiling's leaking. He smirks. Nice construction quality. Better finish cleaning fast. Ranked match starts soon. Speaking of which, where's AI Chanchian? Suddenly, the sound of high heels echoes down the hallway. A sugary voice on the phone says, "Honey, the new iFruit just came out. You promised to buy it for her, remember?" Hanging up, AI Chanchian smiles at Yijan. "She's busy, so you do the cleaning yourself. Thanks for the hard work, you didn't say no, so I'll take it as a yes." A few drops of rain splatter on her clothes. Ugh, her clothes got splashed with dirty water, someone said. AI Chanchian went to the next classroom to change. Again, I'm left cleaning alone. AI Chanchian, why do you always bail on duty? By the time I'm done, the ranked match will be over. Forget it, I'll just game instead. AI Chanchian stepped into the multimedia classroom next door, only to find it was leaking too. No time to find a dry one. Guess I'll change here. The corner's dry enough. The other side of this wall is the classroom. Yijan's probably still cleaning there. Good thing I packed my parasol, she muttered, opening it after changing head out. Meanwhile, Yijan was playing his game, grumbling, "Damn school. Damn Wi-Fi. Stupid principal, can't even fix the network." Right then, the principal walked by and overheard. "Student, see me in my office after you're done cleaning." Yijan sighed, great. Lost the match and got summoned. What day? He looked up. The ceiling was dripping even harder now. I just wiped the board, and now this dirty water again? He grabbed the mop and wiped once more. What the hell? How did it turn into this? A small hole began to open where the water dripped above the blackboard. Yijan leaned closer to peek through. His face instantly turned red. AI Chanchian was changing her clothes. Yijan froze, staring for a few seconds. I didn't mean to peek. Why did a hole suddenly appear in the board? I'd better cover it up. If AI Chanchian sees this, she'll think I'm spying on her. He quickly stuck the mop handle into the hole. Just push it in a little more and snap off the outer part. That should do it. He lifted his foot, ready to press, but slipped again, hitting it way too hard. On the other side, AI Chanchian was fixing her shoes. Ow, what the hell? The mop handle jabbed right into her side. My new clothes are all dirty now. That really hurts. Wait, what just poked me? A sharp scream rang out, then silence. Yijan took out his phone to take a look, but his feed was full of posts about classrooms leaking all over campus. Weird, everyone's talking about the leaks today, he muttered. Better check on AI Chanchian, she's too quiet. He walked toward the next room. A large pool of blood was seeping out from under the door. His face went pale as he remembered that last push. No way, she was just changing. How does it look like a murder scene? Slowly, he raised his head, staring at the ventilation duct above. What is that? Yijan whispered, frowning. It looks like AI Chanchian's hair. Inside the hole, something moved slowly, creaking, creak, creak. Yijan stumbled back in panic and bolted out of the classroom. He sprinted to the fire equipment room and grabbed an axe. Then, from above, came a scraping noise. Something was crawling across the ceiling. He slammed the door shut and locked it tight. Bang, bang, bang. The door shook violently. Who's knocking? His voice trembled. Meanwhile, in the principal's office, a table was stacked with red envelopes. The principal counted and muttered, "Less than last semester." She frowned. Teacher Zhang from class 1 didn't pay up. Retiring soon, huh? He's got guts. And Teacher Zhao from grade 2? No ethics at all, these young ones. She weighed the stack and sneered. Definitely thinner this time. Down by more than a dozen envelopes. Guess the economy's hit everyone hard. A dark droplet splashed onto her shoulder. She sighed. Even bribes aren't what they used to be. Without caring, she said barely 200 grand, still money. I'll stash it first. She chuckled coldly. As for those who didn't pay me, she looked up confused. Why is the rain black? Leaning closer, she studied the strange liquid. Suddenly, a mass of black water poured from the ceiling. She turned, eyes wide in horror, as a dark figure loomed behind her. Thud! Something yanked her into the darkness. Moments later, one pale arm reached back out, grabbing a few envelopes. It was pulled away again. Only a pool of blood remained on the floor. Hud, hud, hud. The pounding returned. Yijan's heart raced. What was that thing I saw on the ceiling just now? Its movements were bizarre, unnatural, and fast. In the blink of an eye, it had vanished. He tightened his grip on the axe. Whatever it is, once it comes in, I'll chop it down. The banging grew louder, thud, 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 shaking the door. Yijan squared his stance and muttered coldly, I don't care if you're human or monster. Step inside, and you die. Crimson fluid began seeping slowly through the crack beneath the door. Just as he raised the axe, a familiar voice called from outside. Yijan, you in there? Did you finish cleaning? It was AI Chanqian's voice. Yijan, are you done? Relieved, he lowered the weapon slightly. He leaned close to the window and peered out. Something felt off. Yijan, she said sweetly, what are you doing in there? The floor outside's filthy. Go finish cleaning, silly. Why are you just standing there? Yijan sighed with a nervous chuckle. Guess I overreacted. Freaked myself out for nothing. He rested the axe against the wall. Better not scare her anymore. Scratching his head, he smiled. I haven't finished yet. I'll wipe the hallway right now. He reached for the doorknob. Glancing up, he grumbled, you sure nag a lot. It's your turn too, remember? Suddenly, AI Chanqian's fingers dragged down the glass, screech, leaving deep cracks. Her voice twisted with rage. Yijan, go clean now. Yijan flinched. Holy, that's terrifying. Women are scary as hell. AI Chanqian froze mid-motion. She muttered repeatedly, why don't you clean? Why don't you clean? Then her mouth tore wide open, eyes blazing red. Go clean. Right now. Suddenly, AI Chanqian grabbed her own throat, maybe from screaming too long, gasping for air. Seeing that, Yijan's fear turned into anger. He swung his axe down with a roar. But AI Chanqian moved impossibly fast, leaving only a blur as she vanished down the hall. Yijan steadied his breathing, forcing himself to calm down, and chased after her. Following a trail of blood, he ran all the way to the parking garage behind the building. AI Chanqian, come out, he shouted. With a long creak, a black luxury car slowly opened its door. Then a flood of blood gushed out from inside. Yijan gripped his axe tighter. AI Chanqian, I know you're in there. When nothing happened, he cautiously stepped closer. The car interior was completely empty. Then whose blood is this? He muttered. Behind him, soft footsteps approached. A chubby figure appeared. It was his classmate, Fatty. Fatty's voice trembled. Why Yijan? What the hell happened here? Yijan turned sharply. Damn it, Fatty. Don't sneak up on me like that. Sneak up on you. You're the one waving an axe, surrounded by blood. You scared me. Fatty said. Yijan frowned. Why aren't you in the dorm playing games? What are you doing down here? Playing? Hell no. The dorm's leaking and there's no signal. I came here for better reception. Then I heard someone yelling AI Chanqian. Heard you mention her a few times, so the name stuck, Fatty added. Yijan asked, and what did you want with her? Fatty smirked. Bro, 3 years of investment for 7 years of return. Some things can't be rushed. Yijan rolled his eyes. Cut the crap. I'm just looking for her to finish what she's supposed to do. Which is cleaning duty, Yijan replied coldly. We were supposed to do it together, but she said she had something to do and left early. When I stayed behind, I heard strange noises from the next classroom and saw blood on the floor. Back then, I saw something moving inside the ceiling, Yijan said quietly. Blood was dripping down nonstop. I followed the trail all the way here. Fatty pointed at a pillar. Look, this blood looks exactly like what I saw in the classroom. It's flowing down from the top. Maybe it's leaking from inside the pillar? Yijan frowned. We should check the classroom again. If you're scared, go back to the dorm. Fatty puffed out his chest. Me? Scared? Please. I'd walk through a graveyard alone at midnight if I had to. Meanwhile, inside the school's art room, Xia Xiaoxi murmured to herself, finally almost done with this painting, but I ran out of white paint. Guess I'll grab some from the classroom. She went back, grabbed the paint, and even found the brush she'd lost weeks ago. Just as she turned to leave, a strange creaking sound echoed above. She looked up and froze. A human face was staring down from the ceiling panels. AI Qianqian, what the hell are you doing up there? I know I'm thinner than you, but spying on me? Seriously? Suddenly, AI Qianqian dropped down from the ceiling, smashing desks and chairs like a wild beast. Holy crap, she's destroying everything. Xia gasped. Xia Xiaoxi burst out of the classroom, her heart pounding. Even out in the hallway, the loud clang-clang noises from inside didn't stop. At that moment, Yi Zhan came running down the corridor with an axe in hand. Xia Xiaoxi, did you see AI Qianqian? She pointed toward the classroom, her voice trembling. She's in there. Yi Zhan pushed the door open and froze at the chaos inside. What the hell happened in here? He turned to her, tense. Did she attack you? Xia shook her head. No, but we need to leave. She could drop down any second. Yi Zhan spoke grimly. Looks like AI Qianqian's only smashing things for now. But that doesn't mean she won't turn on us any moment. Fatty swallowed hard. Let's get the hell out of here. Feels like zombies could show up any second. Yi Zhan glanced out the pitch-black window. We can't leave. Something out there's even worse. He raised his axe. Crash. The window shattered. His breath caught. Just as I thought, it's even worse than I imagined. The entire school was wrapped in a dark, blood-red liquid that pulsed like it was alive. That thing, it's swallowing the buildings. AI Qianqian. Fatty and me, he muttered. Have we all already turned? If that's true, maybe everyone else in this school is already the same. He looked down. The web-like bloodlines on his hand were fading. When his skin returned to normal, he let out a shaky sigh of relief. Fatty and Xia Xiaoxi stepped closer. Yi Zhan, are you okay? I'm fine, he answered softly. Suddenly, Fatty grabbed his neck, groaning. So thirsty. Xia Xiaoxi quickly picked up a shard of glass, her face pale with fear, ready to strike if he turned. But Yi Zhan stopped her. Wait. The marks on his neck appeared before, and disappeared after he drank water. He's not like AI Qianqian. Her change started from the eyes. Yi Zhan stared at Fatty's twisted face. The man was howling in agony. Water. I need water. Yi Zhan scanned the room. No water here. The store on the first floor might have some, but there's no time. He looked down. In the corner sat a dirty mop bucket. Without hesitation, he grabbed it. Splash. He poured the filthy water straight into Fatty's mouth. Xia Xiaoxi gasped. Yi Zhan, that's mop water. Fatty croaked weakly. Zhan, you're killing me. I'm gonna get diarrhea. Yi Zhan sighed. Watch him. I'll head to the store and bring back clean water. This'll have to do for now. Xia clutched her phone, panicking. Police line's dead. Hospital too. Even the security office isn't answering. Forget it, Yi Zhan said coldly. No signal. We're on our own. I need water fast. He's in danger. Don't worry. He won't attack you, not yet. Suddenly Fatty jerked up, shouting, I'm not dead yet. You think I need babysitting? Whatever did this to me, I'll smash its damn face in. Yi Zhan smirked. You're back on your feet, huh? Then let's check the first floor together. On the first floor, a group of students gathered around a thick purple slime. It's blocking the exit, one of them said. What the hell is this thing? The blue-haired boy threw a punch, BM, but it didn't even leave a dent. Yi Zhan stepped forward. Move aside, he said, raising his axe high. Splat. The purple slime burst open, splattering the floor with foul-smelling goo. Thud thud. A few blood-soaked red spheres rolled out, one after another, glistening under the flickering light. The red spheres began to twitch. Something was moving inside them. The blue-haired boy panicked and bolted toward the door. He tried to open it, but the latch was jammed tight. No matter how hard he pulled, it wouldn't budge. Meanwhile, a few others crouched nearby, poking at the strange balls out of morbid curiosity. The chubby boy laughed nervously. What is this? Some kind of giant soccer ball from the school. Suddenly, click, the blue-haired boy managed to unlatch the door. It's open, he shouted. Let's get out of here. Yijan looked up in shock. Idiot, can't he see that shadow outside? Don't touch those things, move. He yanked the door wide open. Creak. A twisted, deformed creature began squeezing its way inside. Close it. Close the door. Everyone screamed. The blue-haired boy slammed it shut with all his strength. But the creature's head and claws were caught in the gap. It writhed violently, its face reshaping itself like melting flesh. Everyone scattered in panic. Only the blue-haired boy stood frozen at the door, trembling too hard to move. From the creature's mouth, two long tubes slowly extended outward. It spat a stream of thick purple fluid straight at the blue-haired boy. Get back, Yijan shouted. Don't let it touch you. But it was already too late. Yijan charged forward, swinging his axe. Splat! The blade buried deep into the creature's skull. Holy crap, he actually hit it. Someone gasped. That's insane. Drip, drip. Dark, oily fluid seeped down the handle of the embedded axe. Then the monster's tendrils wrapped around the axe, the twin tubes spraying purple liquid again. Yijan rolled aside, just in time. That hit should have killed it. Why isn't it dead? The creature melted into liquid and slithered through the doorway, axe still stuck in its head. Crack! It yanked the weapon free and stepped toward the blue-haired boy. It wasn't me, he cried. Don't come near. I didn't hurt you. Go after them. The monster didn't answer. The tubes extended again. They wrapped tight around his neck. With one violent pull, the creature's belly split open and swallowed him whole. His body squirmed inside for a moment, then spat out blood and a torn set of clothes. Nearby, Yijan and the chubby boy crouched low, ready to strike. Yijan, the chubby boy, whispered, "You think we can actually take that thing?" The remaining students screamed and scattered in panic. The creature's gaze shifted toward a terrified girl. Its twin tubes extended again, thick and wet. They sprayed purple liquid across the floor. Hey, over here, Yijan and the chubby boy shouted. We're your target. Ah, her foot, freaking pervert, the chubby boy yelled. The creature ignored them, fixated on the girl. It tried to advance, but got stuck in the doorway. Somebody help me. Please don't, the girl cried. Yijan grabbed a chair and hurled it with all his strength. Bang! It struck the creature square in the head. One side of its skull burst open with a wet crack. It didn't even flinch. The tubes whipped around and coiled around the girl. Your target is me, Yijan roared. He lifted the chair again. Thud! Another blow landed, nearly smashing its face flat. But the girl was already half swallowed. Yijan and the chubby boy charged, pounding away with whatever they could grab. Clang, clang, clang. Seizing the moment, Yijan snatched his axe from the ground and swung hard at the creature's belly. Splat! The gut split open and a blood-soaked arm slipped out. Pull her out. Now, Yijan shouted. He kept hacking again and again. After a few heavy strikes, the creature's head rolled off. The chubby boy finally dragged the trembling girl out from its torn body. But the creature still wasn't done. It lashed out two tubes and wrapped them around the chubby boy. Yijan swung his axe, severing them in one clean strike. His rage exploded. He kept swinging again and again. The monster's flesh tore apart, bones cracking under every hit. Yet even then, it tried to devour him, its remaining flesh wrapping around Yijan's body. Yijan, Xiaoxi shouted, running over with a bottle of alcohol. Use this, burn it. She poured out the liquid, stuffed a cloth, and lit it up, improvising a Molotov cocktail. Whoosh! She hurled it straight at the creature. Flames erupted, engulfing the monster entirely. Fatty, rip it open, Yijan yelled. Together they tore a gash wide enough for Xiaoxi to throw the rest. Got it. Stand back, or you'll burn, she shouted. A bag full of burning bottles flew in and exploded inside its gut. A burst of fire swallowed the entire corpse. But even burned black, the body still twitched. It's still moving, Yijan gasped. Not anymore. He swung down hard, chopping again and again. 40 hits with the small hammer, 80 with the big bang. Bang, bang. The ground cracked beneath the blows. The three stared at the mangled mess. Damn thing, the chubby boy panted. Head gone and it still wouldn't die. If not for the fire, we'd be dinner. Finally roasted that bastard. The rescued girl started coughing violently. Hey, are you okay? Her arms almost ruined just saving you. The girl trembled, leaning against the wall. The chubby boy grinned and said, Don't worry, sweetheart. Forget the hospital bill. Just marry me instead. Suddenly, the rescued girl turned her head. Red light flared in her eyes, and veins stood out across her skin as she lunged at the chubby boy. She raked 3 bloody gouges across his chest. Then, standing a little apart, she croaked, Don't come closer. Her body trembled. She muttered, No, you can't, under her breath. In one sudden motion, she leapt up to the second floor. She vanished into the ceiling void, slipping into the rafters. She's up in the ceiling watching us. Do you think she'll jump down and ambush? The chubby boy asked, alarmed. Xiaoxi replied. She ran earlier, but didn't attack. Maybe she isn't fully turned. Some human instincts remain. Yizhan nodded. Could be. She hid because she didn't want to hurt us. Any alcohol left? Grab 2 bottles. If she comes down, toss them that we used it all. The chemistry lab upstairs has some. I'll go get it and something to defend ourselves. At that moment, a red flesh sphere rolled down the corridor again. They move away. Why are they back? Someone shouted. Yizhan crouched, eyes on the orb. Do you think there's someone inside those things? He asked. He stopped the chubby boy. Don't get close. There's something wrong with them. Yizhan raised his axe and swung at the orb. Splash. The shell split. Big ovoids oozed out. A spiny barb pierced the shell first, tearing it open. A tooth-lined worm wriggled free from the gap. Then all at once, dozens of worms hatched, pouring out. The swarm surged toward Yizhan and the others. Run. Too many. They'll eat us. Someone screamed. Xiaoxi had managed to fetch a whole bucket of alcohol from the lab and feared for them. Please don't die. She decided to rig a makeshift weapon. Spotting a mop, she thought to soak it in alcohol and set it alight. Turn it into an incendiary club. That and the bottle should do. Gotta hurry back. Suddenly, countless worms poured out of the hallway. Holy crap, where'd all these bugs come from? The chubby boy screamed. Yizhan and his friend were already surrounded. Bro, it bit me. The chubby boy yelled. Damn it, same here. One crawled into my pants. Upstairs, Xiaoxi soaked the mop in alcohol, lit it up, and charged down the hall, swinging the flaming mop into the crawling swarm. Crackling pops filled the air along with the smell of roasted meat. Seeing Yizhan and the chubby boy still alive, she exhaled in relief, then torched the entire swarm. The two sat down, clutching their groins. Xiaoxi, you came back just in time. She asked what happened. Why so many bugs? Yizhan trembled. They came from those red orbs while you went upstairs. Could there be some kind of queen of mother creature? Maybe. Those orbs might be at spawn.so. What now? Still heading to the supermarket? Hard to tell, but everything weird we've seen is tied to that black water. 30 minutes earlier, at the campus market, drip, drip, black water leaked from the ceiling. Students read a school alert on their phones. Everyone stay inside the main building. What? Mutants in the school? Someone glanced up at the ceiling. What the hell is that? That black stuff, it's alive. I've seen this in movies. It can morph into anything. The liquid began to writhe violently. Before their eyes, it molded into red, fleshy spheres. A red-haired boy pulled out a utility knife. Look at you scaredy cats. It's just slime balls. Watch me pop him. He slashed one open. Splat. A worm burst out eagerly. The big ones went for heads. The small ones for legs. The market dissolved into chaos. Screams, bites, blood. Moments later, only bodies remained on the floor. Elsewhere, Yizhan and his team torched the remaining bugs. Xiaoxi asked, Are we still heading to the store? Those red orbs came from that direction. Who knows what else is there? Yizhan replied, The 3 of us are safe for now, but we need to move fast. Find anyone alive, then secure a rest spot. Fatty, remember how we co-op in games? Xiaoxi, Get something to spray alcohol. We split up. Xiao Xiao Si. Take the exit on the second floor. You can see the first floor from there. If anything happens, head up or down. Fatty, you cover the third floor and keep eyes on her. I'll check the first floor. Once I grab food and water from the market, I'll meet you upstairs. I lit the stairwell on fire to block anything coming up. Report back if you see trouble. Second floor hallway, clear for now. Third floor, no mutants in sight. Suddenly, a door creaked open. Yijan stared at the blaze. The sofas in the lobby, I set them on fire. That should stop them for a while. But it'll be hell trying to get upstairs later. 2 students peeked out from a classroom. Looks safe. They killed those mutants. Let's go. The stairs are on fire. Grab an extinguisher. Quick. Suddenly, a drop of black water fell onto the blonde boy's head. He turned around. His face had already darkened. The purple-haired boy stammered. Why, you're mutating? The blonde boy wiped his face. Relax, it's just rain. You're the one freaking out. Come on, let's put out the fire and wait for rescue. But then the blonde boy's expression twisted. His arm warped, skin turning black. He grabbed the purple-haired boy and lifted him like a rag doll. His mutating hand split open and swallowed another student whole. The arm grew thicker, pulsing with veins. He didn't notice Yijan watching from the corner. Yijan slid 2 keys from his pocket, clutching them between his fingers like blades. He burst forward as the monster turned. Both struck at once. Yijan was faster. He dodged sideways and stabbed the blonde in the eye. Squelch! The eyeball burst, thick fluid streaming down the socket. Yijan spun behind the blonde mutant and swung his axe at the back of its head. Clang! The skull split open, oozing clusters of purple egg-like sacs. The sight made his stomach churn. Fighting the nausea, he raised the axe again and hacked off one of its legs. In minutes, the creature was dismembered. Yijan tossed the limbs into the flames. Crackle, pop. The smell of burnt flesh filled the air. He grimaced. The fire had gone too far, charring even the mutant to ash. Disgusted, he turned to leave. But from the fire, a blackened arm suddenly crawled out. It clung to the wall, dragging itself upward, tearing through the ceiling and disappearing inside. Walking the corridor, Yijan heard faint movement above the ceiling. He turned, eyes wide. No way it's still alive? He glanced down. Slimy trails streaked the wall and floor. The sound grew distant, toward the campus market. He followed and reached the rec store. God, not a single body's intact. Organs missing, torsos hollowed out. Footsteps echoed behind the metal door ahead. He ducked aside. Bang! The iron door swung open. It was the principal. The man mumbled, "Teachers didn't give envelopes this year. Harvest worse, worse. Teacher Zhao, you've no ethics. Teacher Zhang, given the envelopes, hurry." His words slurred as his body warped, skull stretching into a sharp, spiked head. Yijan froze, knees trembling, nearly wetting himself. He raised the axe. Who's he talking to? He thought. Has he mutated, or just gone insane? The mutant principal suddenly launched a spike-covered tentacle, flinging one arm straight toward Yijan. The whip-like limb whooshed past his head, nearly blowing it off. The monster retracted its tendril. Yijan seized the chance and charged, swinging his axe toward its head. But the principal's skull morphed into a claw, clamping down on the blade. It kept muttering, year after year. Fewer envelopes, fewer. Suddenly, it let go and lashed out. Yijan ducked. Clang! The iron door behind him shattered. He sprinted down the aisle, gaining distance. Its reach, it blocked the exit on purpose. Why? It could have killed me. Why'd it let go? Then the monster's arms began to swell. Thicker and thicker, until both limbs closed in, trapping him completely. Damn, he muttered, grabbing a bottle of liquor from a shelf. Liquid courage, right? He chugged it down. If its arms can mutate like that, what's next? Can't face it head on. Need to find supplies first. This brand of chocolate's smooth. Not bad. He spotted a girl's corpse beside the rack. She must have died before I got here. Her body was mangled, organs missing. Poor thing, still beautiful though, he whispered. Damn, I've been single too long. A noise creaked from the next aisle. Yijan gripped his axe tighter. Don't tell me there's another one. How many died here? Suddenly, the corpses around him twitched, then began to move. He looked down and saw a backpack on the floor. Snatching it up without checking inside, he bolted. One sideways swing sent a small mutant flying, but the principal had already spotted him again. Yijan's vision blurred. The world warped into illusion. He saw students brawling in the courtyard. The principal's voice echoed through the dream. Fighting again. If I had a gun, I'd shoot you all dead. From its massive arms, the monster fired bullet-like spikes. Bang, bang, bang. This is it. The mutant principal caught up and clamped an arm around the boy's head. He struggled with everything he had, but the grip wouldn't budge. The mutant lifted him off the ground by the skull with a single motion. In that life-or-death instant, the principal remembered the boy mocking him in class. Rage flared. Then he released him. Bang! The boy hit the floor hard. He stood up, his head dripping blood. Staggering, he reached down for the axe on the ground. Suddenly, the mutant's arm shot out and grabbed his calf, flinging him into the side walls with brutal force. His head took another heavy blow. He dropped to his knees, vomiting blood. But he was stubborn. He pulled himself up and swung the axe with all his strength. Bam, bam, bam. The blade never reached the creature. The monster fired a barrage of spikes, a storm of projectiles. The axe shattered in his hands. His arms, shoulders, thighs, and shins were all punctured. The creature bent, picked up the broken axe from the ground, and brought it down on his head. Crack! His skull exploded. Blood and bones sprayed everywhere. In the blackness, a voice whispered, "Give me your body." He gasped. "Who's talking?" The voice hissed on, "Yijan, hand your body over to me, or you will die." "How do I give you my body?" "Don't take control." "Fine." Suddenly, a smile spread across Yijan's blood-stained face. "I can move again." The other voice inside him spoke. "Yijan, both my hands were pierced by bone spikes. If I hadn't taken over, you'd be a beehive. Look at yourself. How many holes do you see?" Yijan tore off his shirt. "Using those steel plates from the supermarket was smart," the voice said, "but the parts you didn't cover are full of holes. You were basically walking to your death." The mutant principal fired another volley of bone spikes. A spike shot straight toward his face, but a layer of violet fluid oozed from his skin, blocking the impact. Soon a shimmering film coated his body, secreting more of that purple liquid. Snap! He caught one spike between his fingers. Both arms fired 437 spikes. 139 hit me, the rest hit the walls. Since you've lost your hearing, maybe lose your sight too. The horn on your head is glued shut. It won't protect your eyes anymore. So, he vanished in a blink, grabbed the creature's massive eye and growled. After firing, your arms go numb for 10 seconds, right? He squeezed. Pop! The eyeball burst. The mutant principal shrieked, its arms slashing wildly. The violet fluid on Yijan's palm was absorbed into his flesh. His wounds closed rapidly. The inner voice returned. "I healed your injuries." Why? Yijan asked. "Did you use the black water?" "No. I used your life and stamina instead." "My time's almost up," it said. "I'm giving your body back. Finish it, but you'll suffer the backlash." Pain flooded through him. So this is the price of life overdrawn. It felt like thousands of steel needles stabbing into his organs. He trembled uncontrollably. Gritting his teeth, he grabbed the broken axe and swung with everything he had. The first horn shattered, then the second. "Too tough? Then I'll rip it off myself." The mutant principal's body shriveled as Yijan collapsed. "Finally, it's over. This backlash worse than death. I can't move. Just pain, nothing but pain." Thump, 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 thump. The creature's heart was still beating. Yijan looked up in disbelief. It wasn't dead. Then, the creature detached its own head and crawled it back into its body. Yijan froze, eyes wide in disbelief. He tried to stand, but a tentacle lashed out and grabbed his wrist. He struggled desperately until the slimy tendrils wrapped around his entire body. The headless monster rose again. "It's not dead. It's trying to swallow me. I can't move. What do I do now?" The creature yanked his head toward its neck, as if trying to fuse the two together. "Let me go." Yijan roared. Suddenly, the monster released him. Its cells shriveled and died, one after another. Violent tremors racked its body until it completely withered. Yijan lay on the ground, panting. What just happened? For a split second, every thought in my mind vanished. My brain went completely blank. He looked at the corpse. What am I supposed to do now? Out of nowhere, a tentacle wrapped around his neck again. As he gasped for air, confusion flooded in, my head blank. I can't remember. A surge of psychic force erupted from within him, striking back at the monster. The tentacles recoiled instantly. Trembling, the creature crawled toward the vent, leapt up and whoosh, vanished inside. It went up there, what's going on? My mind, it's empty. I lost my memory. I can't remember a single thing that happened just now. I couldn't move before. He tied me up. When he was about to swallow me, my mind focused everything into one thought. Let me go. And he did. Then blank. Total blank. When he grabbed my throat again and I was suffocating, my mind concentrated again, released the same surge. He let go again and crawled into the ceiling. 2 blackouts, both right after I released that mental surge. So, maybe he let go because of it? Could I actually control mutants with my mind? Could be coincidence. But twice in a row? Doesn't feel like it. If I can really control them, I'll rule this whole campus. Then Yijan noticed. His backpack and the 3 boxes of water were gone. He ran back, searching everywhere. The stairs to the 2nd floor were blocked. The supplies weren't there. They had to be on the 1st floor. From one room came voices. It's safe. Everyone out. Yijan stepped inside, the same spot where he'd fought the principal. Survivors, so they took my stuff. I'm not the only one alive down here. The voices came from the restroom, so they're hiding there. From inside, everything here's ours now. That guy's out to fight. 2 tigers fight. The fisherman profits. Ha ha ha. We'll take this building. Be the bosses here. Those mutants fear fire. We've got fuel, tools. We're fine. That kid killed a few alone, but we're more, aren't we? Yijan stepped forward, staring at the curly-haired guy. The man snarled, what you looking at? Get lost. Yijan thought, perfect test subject. Let's see if I can control humans too. The man grabbed Yijan's collar. You looking for a beating? Yijan released a surge of intent. Pick up the axe. Put your hand on the table. That hand cut it off. And that mouth, slice it open. Slash. Slash. Blood sprayed. The man's mouth split ear to ear. He felt at his knees, trembling. From the restroom came screams. Wang Dehu chopped his own hand off. And his mouth, oh my God. This is cursed. Don't go out there. Yijan stood frozen. What just happened? He cut himself? Split his mouth? Why? My mind blank again. The man looked equally lost. My hands numb, my mouth too. Why did I do that? Suddenly his eyes went red. It hurts. So bad. Forget it. I'm taking this building. He stormed toward the hallway. Yijan grabbed his shoulder. Your target is me. The man stopped, turned. Yijan kicked him hard in the face. Thud. He hit the floor. Too fast. His head's hard as stone. Yijan yanked a water pipe from the wall. After mutation, his IQ dropped. He's not even attacking me. As Yijan froze, Curly slashed open the 2nd floor barrier. Try and climb up. Yijan shouted, Curly, your target is me. At the cut stairway, a policewoman yelled, Don't come over. Student, run. She warned. Those who came to rescue you were attacked. They're about to mutate. Yijan gasped. Even the SWAT officers mutated? If only I could get their weapons and gear. Meanwhile, after mutation, Wang Dehu's will drove him to occupy more brains. Yijan thought, let Curly and that freshly made mutant, the big head doll, kill each other. The armed SWAT mutant squad's intent is unclear. This policewoman's still human, so she must have a survival method, and she might not be with them. Suddenly, the big head doll ambushed Curly. Curly swung his axe at its head. The doll tucked its head back inside, leaving only a scratch, unharmed. It leapt upward and bit at Curly. Crack! A huge chunk of Curly's arm was torn off. Curly's other arm morphed into a giant hammer, smashing at the big head doll. Clang! The hammer slammed into the floor. The monster's body was iron hard, untouched. It crouched, charging power, then rammed Curly's gut slash. Flesh split open. It hopped before him, rummaging inside his torso. Moments later, it pulled out something heart-like, shoved it into its mouth, and sprang away. After it left, Yijan doused Curly's body with alcohol. Even heartless, this corpse could still fuse with others. Burn it now. A voice echoed. Yijan, do not will control mutants. Do it again, and you'll suffer permanent amnesia. So those first two were passive, he muttered. A SWAT mutant suddenly rose. Electricity burst across him. Zzz. The arc struck the policewoman. Her body jolted hard. Gritting her teeth, she leapt from the second floor, grabbed Yijan. Run. They came to kill me. One of the SWAT mutants pulled out a grenade. The policewoman quickly pulled Yijan into her arms, diving sideways into a hallway. Boom! The wall shattered into rubble. Several mutants rushed in. Find a place without a ceiling, she whispered. Somewhere to hide. The restroom on the first floor. No ceiling there. They dashed in, hiding inside a stall. Suddenly, the policewoman stripped off her jacket and told Yijan to do the same. She planned to use their clothes as decoys to fake positions and ambush the mutants. Yijan gulped as she moved close. A mutant SWAT officer entered. Hearing faint movement, he crept toward the stalls. Yijan whispered two of them. After we take down one, you exit left, I go right, and we finish the other. Shoo, he's here. The mutant kicked open two stalls. One door still closed. He fired bang through the door, then kicked it open. A belt snapped around his neck, hoisting him up while a stunned baton shocked him. He convulsed and hung lifeless. Another mutant entered at the noise. Yijan burst from the next stall, stunned him instantly, then finished with an axe. 2 guns acquired, Yijan said. The policewoman slit open the corpses. No worms inside, she muttered. Just that black fluid. Yijan frowned. So there's more than one trigger for mutation. He stripped useful gear, set the bodies ablaze. The policewoman pulled out a small notebook. Name, please. Useless formality, but procedure. Yijan helped her open each stall. She had to confirm if anyone else was alive. Yijan pulled out his gun and cleared each stall one by one. Suddenly, the policewoman shouted, "What is that inside the partition?" Yijan rushed over and froze. I've seen this thing in the underground parking lot before. There's someone inside it. When I was here earlier, I heard voices from inside. Not just one person. A trembling voice came from within. Don't kill me. I'm not going out. Yijan swung his axe and split the outer shell open. Inside, the person kept murmuring the same line. Don't kill me. I'm not going out. Yijan muttered. He's lost all consciousness. Only his final fear remains. The policewoman scribbled in her notebook. 3 immobilized mutants in the men's room. All repeat the same phrase. Don't kill me. I'm not going out. Yijan called out, Officer, come check this one, it's different. His head's inside the toilet bowl. The policewoman walked over, noticing a lesson plan beside him. He was a teacher, and he kept mumbling Miss Xiaowei. Yijan snapped his fingers. Right, that's Mr. Mahu. In the women's restroom, a soft voice kept chanting Miss Xiaowei. Miss Xiaowei entered, asking, who's calling me? The sound didn't come from outside. It echoed from the drain below. Meanwhile, the policewoman continued recording. Mutation traits, elongated neck, head inside toilet. Unknown cause, keep saying Miss Xiaowei. She asked, why would he do that? Who's she? Yijan replied. He was secretly in love with her. Miss Xiaowei looked at the toilet in horror. 2 eyes emerged from the bowl, chanting her name. She screamed and ran. The poop just grew a soul. The eyes chased after her. Fleshy tendrils wrapped around her legs. Mr. Ma's head burst out of the drain. She gasped, Mr. Ma, what happened to you? He lurched forward, snarling, I love you. Miss Xiaowei, I love you. Back in the men's room, Yijan snapped, stop writing. Something's wrong with him. Dozens of eyes burst from the mutant's body. They fired their guns. Yijan emptied his mag as the policewoman yelled, I'll handle this. I'll make sure he doesn't mutate again. His body's gone, but his head's still in the pipe. I'll check the ladies' room. The drain's connected. If I don't hear her, I'll hold here. Once she left, Yizhan finally relieved himself with a deep sigh. Unexpectedly, the policewoman turned back for a glance. Yizhan jerked in surprise, almost smacking his lower half against the wall. She flushed bright red and spun away. A tiny smile crept onto her face as her heart skipped a beat. The policewoman pushed open the restroom door and froze. A huge pile of fleshy mass sat in the corner. Is that a person? She wondered. Suddenly, her bladder protested. With everything going on, she hurriedly tried to relieve herself near the door. Meanwhile, Yizhan, worried something might have happened to her, rushed toward the women's restroom. As the officer tried to catch her breath, a hideous eyeball monster slithered out, wrapping its tendrils around her throat. With no time to pull her pants back up, she cried out Yizhan's name. Hearing her scream, Yizhan kicked the door open. Her shorts slipped from midair. For a split second, he thought she was doing some kind of acrobatic stretch. Now's not the time for yoga, he shouted, grabbing her legs and pulling her down, unaware the creature's tendrils were choking her neck. He finally yanked her free, but a monkey-like mutant suddenly leaped from behind, its claw tearing through Yizhan's abdomen. The policewoman regained consciousness and gasped at his wound, rushing to hold him up. The eyeball monster lunged again from the stall. Yizhan wrapped his arm around it, then struck its body with the stun baton in a burst of sparks. The monkey mutant pounced next, biting into Yizhan's head. On the verge of death, Yizhan's mind exploded with psychic force. In an instant, he absorbed both monsters' energy and forced them to turn on each other through sheer mental will. Yizhan spoke to the voice inside his body. You take control. Get the survivors to safety. Bring the food and water to the second floor. Also, tell me how I can control mutants at will, and how to repair my body without burning my life away. The voice replied calmly, find the mother core. Then it thought to itself, this time, I can hold the body much longer than before. Impressive. The possessed Yizhan stood up, handed the writhing chunk of flesh to the policewoman, and lifted the unconscious Miss Xiaowei onto his back. As he stepped into the hallway, a sudden noise echoed. He quickly passed Xiaowei to the officer for safekeeping. One step forward, several zombies fell before his blade. He even rescued a terrified survivor who had fainted on the spot. Moments later, he single-handedly carried an entire shelf of supplies. The policewoman stared, stunned. He's incredible. The possessed Yizhan hauled the whole supermarket into the school building. The officer's eyes widened at the sight of chocolates and ice cream. Her mouth nearly watered. Yizhan turned to her. Take care of the survivors. I'll check upstairs. The two rescued survivors still hadn't recovered from their shock. Miss Xiaowei curled up, trembling. The other staff member's eyes widened, muttering faintly, the mother core. Then he collapsed again. Yizhan looked over coldly. The term mother core could be crucial. He decided to move the supplies upstairs first, then interrogate him later. But the stairs to the second floor were sealed by a thick purple substance. Yizhan gritted his teeth and tore it apart with brute strength. Inside lay the missing principal, fused completely with the same monstrous arm from the ceiling that night. Yizhan warned the policewoman, stay back. Just watch from there. The principal's mutated arm suddenly shot toward the possessed Yizhan like a spring-loaded spear. Yizhan met it with a single punch. Bang! The monstrous limb exploded into chunks. He blinked, surprised. The principal's second fusion form was far weaker than expected. But the arm didn't stop. It began spinning around him, leaking streams of purple fluid. The principal's body in the distance collapsed, melting into a puddle of liquid flesh. The arm used to only launch patch shots. But now, after the second mutation, the principal could liquefy himself, then solidify the liquid into piercing spikes. One shot stabbed straight through Yizhan's body. It didn't harm him. Instead, that liquid energy was absorbed right into his system. Yizhan kicked through the air, slamming into the fluid mass. The principal instantly reverted to his humanoid form. Two crushing punches followed. The principal was left completely helpless. He fell to the ground, twitching violently as steam hissed from his skin. Yizhan glanced back at the policewoman. throw me one of those mutant hearts. Let him eat it. I want him at full strength. He hasn't shown his true power yet." One pulsating mutant heart crawled across the floor and forced its way into the principal's mouth. His eyes flared red as he rose again, arms swelling to monstrous size. In madness, he swung wildly, destroying everything around him. Yi-Zhan leaped from wall to wall, locating the weak spot above the principal's head, then drove a fierce kick straight down. The principal crashed to the floor, but his body was absurdly durable. He shot up again instantly. His enormous arm came smashing toward Yi-Zhan once more. Yi-Zhan countered with a single kick, shattering the arm completely. After testing the principal's strength, Yi-Zhan exhaled coldly. Useless. The possessed Yi-Zhan thrust his hand forward and ripped the principal's heart straight out. Then he jammed the stun baton directly into it. The principal lost all combat ability, but wasn't dead. The policewoman, documenting for her research, turned the electric output to maximum. The smell of burning flesh filled the air. She quickly stopped and wrote down her notes. At maximum voltage, the subject twitches continuously. Post-second fusion form confirmed. Body capable of liquefaction. Yi-Zhan didn't care. He simply walked upstairs. There was still one creature left. A purple, viscous mass blocking the hallway. He tore it apart with his bare hands. Boom! A 3-meter-tall monster burst out, swinging a massive fist. Yi-Zhan dodged aside. He caught his next punch with one hand and smirked. Thick arms, huh? Feels solid enough. He twisted its limb, then drove a punch deep into its gut. Yet no matter how he struck, he couldn't pierce its body. The giant monster countered, grabbing Yi-Zhan's arm and slamming him hard into the floor. But Yi-Zhan's body was far too tough. Before the monster's fist could land, he leapt up again, clamped his legs around its head, and twisted. Crack! The monster collapsed lifelessly. Yi-Zhan drove another stun gun into its body. Now, he could drain its energy continuously and control both mutants at once. As long as the electrodes pulsed through their hearts, they posed no threat. If danger appeared, he could simply shut off the charge, and they devour other mutants to restore strength. The possession's time limit was nearly up. He told the officer, "Stay downstairs. If they act up, max out the voltage." Then a voice echoed inside his mind. The other Yi-Zhan spoke. "From this moment, mutants can no longer be killed by humans. The dark gel has triggered infinite evolution. Only mutants can kill mutants. My time's up. I'll take the body from here." Yi-Zhan froze. He finally realized the black rain had a name, dark gel. And the thing that had just controlled his body was that gel itself. He tried asking questions, but there was no reply. Gritting his teeth, he forced his body to repair itself. Then he remembered Xia Xiaoxi was still in the lab. He had to find her. In the lab, Xia Xiaoxi had just finished crafting a makeshift flamethrower from alcohol. She packed her gear and hurried toward Yi-Zhan's last location. But as she reached the door, footsteps echoed above the ceiling. Moments later, several fleshy mutants dropped down from above. Xiaoxi lit her flamethrower. Flames engulfed one of them, sizzling loudly. Yet the fire died out quickly, and the creature stood up again. Bang! 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 Bullets tore through it. The policewoman had arrived. Working together, they subdued all 3 mutants in seconds. But suddenly, more mutants poured out from the ceiling vents one after another. The policewoman quickly turned off the shotguns, controlling the 2 captured mutants. Once the limiters were disabled, the fused creatures tore into the others like living meat grinders, clearing the room in seconds. When the chaos finally ended, she switched the power back on. Instantly, the 2 mutants turned docile again. Xia Xiaoxi, overwhelmed with relief, rushed forward and hugged Yi-Zhan tightly. Meanwhile, the mutants that had been killed by their own kind began to dry out as the dark gel drained from their bodies. Within moments, they crumbled into dust. But those burned or shot down by humans started rising again. The scattered dark gel across the room was being reabsorbed. The remains fused once more, evolving again. Then they slipped away into the ventilation ducts. Yizhan and his group used cement and sand to seal off the ground floor lobby. That not only blocked incoming mutants, but gave them a clear view from the second floor. With mounted crossbows by the windows, they could stop any that try to shatter the reinforced glass doors. To strengthen defenses, Yizhan finished setting traps upstairs, then helped everyone move food and water into the meeting room. It had no windows, no ceiling gaps, only one door to guard. The supplies from the supermarket would last for months, but De Xiong was still missing. After a short rest, Yizhan led the team upstairs to search. In the lab, the surviving mutants had already absorbed dark gel and completed their second mutation. Fire and bullets could only knock them down, not kill them. Only the mutated principle could truly destroy them, by absorbing the dark gel from their bodies. One of Yizhan's controlled mutants was overwhelmed and devoured. Its heart was eaten by another mutant, along with the dark gel, triggering a new evolution. Xia Xiaoxi's flamethrower and the policewoman's rifle did nothing to stop it. Boils on its shoulders swelled and burst, launching two fleshy projectiles. Down! Yizhan shouted. The three hit the floor just in time. The meat spikes shot past, punching through the wall with terrifying force. One spike, however, impaled the mutated principle. Enraged, he swung his monstrous arm, cleaving the creature in half. Then he absorbed the dark gel from its body, devouring its heart as well. As the principle began to evolve again, Yizhan appeared behind him and reactivated the shotgun. The current surged, his entire body convulsed before collapsing. Then, before anyone could breathe, the severed limbs scattered across the floor began to twitch. The dismembered mutants were fusing, coming back to life. Yizhan thought quickly. Only the principal's arm spikes could inject dark gel into other mutants, forcing their bodies to liquefy and truly die. But after devouring so many, the principal's heart was mutating again. To control him, they'd need more shotguns installed after dealing with the others. He and the team tossed the mutants' limbs down the stairwell, then doused them in alcohol and set them ablaze. The flames roared, but the monsters wouldn't die. Even dismembered and burned, they fused again, stronger than before. Humanity could no longer kill mutants. Only mutants could kill their own kind. Just then, the power to the shotgun inside the principal ran out. He mumbled in a low, broken voice, "Teacher Zhang, one more year to retirement, less bonus this time. Xiaowei, you didn't give me any, you'll all pay." Suddenly, his arm lashed out, sending everyone flying. They crashed hard onto the first floor. Yizhan realized if the principal absorbed more mutants, he'd lose control completely. He had to act first. Gripping his axe, Yizhan swung it down. The blade sank deep into the principal's torso. The principal didn't even flinch. A bone spike pierced through Yizhan's skull, blood gushing out. Yizhan opened his mouth and spat out a shotgun. It shot straight into the principal's mouth. Zzzt. Electricity crackled inside his body, but he still wasn't down. The principal's arm launched again, flying toward Yizhan. Yizhan hurled his axe aside, sprinting toward the high-voltage control room. The severed arm chased him inside. Boom! It grabbed the live wire. Electric arcs burst across the room. The principal screamed and retracted it in pain. Then he stepped inside himself, just as he raised his hand to strike. Yizhan yanked a cable loose and jammed it into his chest. The principal convulsed violently. Yizhan twisted the knob, maximum voltage, then bolted out of the room. Crackling filled the air for several long seconds before silence fell. Yizhan flipped the breaker and stepped back in. The principal's body was gone, completely burned away. Only a heart remained, still beating faintly. Yizhan froze. He lifted his axe to destroy it, but the blade couldn't cut through. Snarling, he plunged the live cable into it again. The heart pulsed, then fused with the axe. The dark gel and the spike from that monstrous mutant, both now merged into the axe, could finally kill the others. The weapon had become lethal to every creature of this kind. Meanwhile, downstairs, the female officer froze in shock. Every mutant on the first floor had fused together, forming a massive abomination. Xiao Xiaoxi and the officer stared in horror, trembling, ready to flee. At that moment, Teacher Zhang charged forward, throwing himself at the creature to buy them time. The three women climbed toward the second floor as fast as they could. The monster's enormous hand clamped around Zhang's head, about to crush it. On the other side, Miss Xiaowei stumbled, unable to reach the stairs. Hearing the commotion, the mutant dragged Zhang's body toward her. She trembled, frozen in terror, her bladder giving out. "Don't kill her," Zhang gasped. "Take my life instead." His skull burst in the monster's grip. A medical report slipped from his pocket. Written diagnosis: severe cranial tumor spread. Medication can sustain for months before full organ failure. He'd never even seen his daughter one last time. Remembering she was the same age as Xiaowei, he gave his life willingly. With what strength remained, he clung to the mutant's arm, trying to save her. But fate was cruel. The monster stomped on Xiaowei's abdomen, killing her instantly. And its foot came down on Zhang. The two died together, their blood mixing beneath the creature's feet. The mutant looked up toward the second floor. The sacks on its shoulders swelled, then burst with a bang, firing fleshy spikes toward the officer and Xiao Xiaoxi. Yi Zhan leaped aside with the two women. The spikes smashed into the wall, leaving craters. Its strength had grown again, it had evolved. Suddenly, Teacher Zhang, who had just died, rose again, his head covered in pale fungal growth. "His life for yours," he muttered. Then he hurled a lump of the white fungus onto the mutant. It spread rapidly, wrapping around the creature's entire body. Zhang looked monstrous now, barely human. Upstairs, Yi Zhan and the others watched in horror. Zhang thrust his arm deep into the monster's abdomen. Cancer cells spread wildly inside its body. One of the creature's heads bit down, tearing off half of Zhang's skull. He staggered, then fell lifeless to the ground. Roaring, Yi Zhan jumped from the second floor. His axe cleaved into the mutant's torso. Dark gel burst from the blade, flooding into the creature's flesh. The black fluid spread fast, and within seconds, the mutant dissolved completely, leaving only a heart. Yi Zhan swung again, but the heart dodged the blow and shot into Zhang's headless body, becoming his new head. The heart was slick and fast. The axe couldn't touch it. "Fine," Yi Zhan growled. "I'll use my fists." Dark gel leaked from his skin, coating his arm. The mutant screamed, releasing more of the black substance. It spread across the entire floor. A voice echoed in Yi Zhan's mind. "You sure you don't want me to control your body?" "Not this time," he replied coldly. "I'll handle it myself." Before him, the creature's black slime formed a replica of his own head. Yi Zhan lunged. Their fists collided, and the mutant's arm shattered. Yi Zhan struck again, smashing its face. The blow cratered the floor beneath it. The monster swung once more, but Yi Zhan's power overwhelmed it. Its arm burst apart again. The mutant dropped to its knees, wailing. Yi Zhan ripped out its heart, smirking. "Should I fry you or feed you to my axe? What if I eat it myself?" He didn't. Instead, he let the axe and mutated Zhang absorb the dark gel. Only a mutant can consume another mutant. Miss Xiaowei was still breathing. Yi Zhan ordered the officer and Xia Xiaoxi to carry her to the meeting room, then went with Zhang to the underground parking lot to find Hidaxiang. Yi Zhan and Teacher Zhang reached the underground parking lot, searching for Hidaxiang. Ordinary mutants lunged from every corner, but none could withstand the cancer in Zhang. Any creature he touched was infected instantly, its body overtaken and dead within seconds. When they'd parted from Daxiang before, the garage had been quiet. Now it was crawling with monsters. Yi Zhan raised his axe, draining the dark gel from every fallen mutant to boost its power. The deeper they went, the stronger the mutants became. Yet under Zhang's relentless assault, none lasted long. Suddenly, a second-stage mutant monkey leapt out of the shadows. It slammed Zhang to the ground. Yi Zhan reacted instantly. One swing, and the monkey's head rolled away. From nearby, a faint cry came from a van. Yi Zhan smashed the window. A little girl poked her head out. "Mister, can you take me out of here?" Her voice trembled. She said she'd starve for days. Everyone here had turned into monsters. Seeing her small and terrified, Yizhan agreed. He and Zhang shielded her between them. But the girl kept glancing at Zhang's grotesque form, too scared to stay close, moving to the rear. Then, afraid something might come from behind, she rushed ahead instead. The farther she went, the more terrified she became. What if a mutant jumped out? Finally, she panicked and ran back toward the van. A mutant lunged straight at her. Yizhan dashed forward, pulling her aside just in time. Following the trail of dark gel, he reached a ventilation shaft. The duct burst open. Countless mutant corpses tumbled out. From within crawled a figure, his body entirely purple. It was the one he'd been searching for, his classmate Hidaxiang.